As we continue in on into chapter 1, page 7, we look at teachers leaving the profession. This is probably going to be some startling numbers for you. It always makes me kind of sad as I think about the statistics on this. But the first thing I want to point out is after 3 years of teaching, you've graduated, you've put all this time in. After 3 years of teaching, 20% of new teachers will leave the teaching profession per the research. Now, let's just take an easy number. Let's say there's 20 of us in the class. A fifth of that would be, text me your answer. That's how many people will be gone just in a class of 20. I mean, when we put it into that, think about that. That's huge numbers. And then research goes on to say after year 5, half of the ones that remained will be gone. Don't be one of those that leave the profession. We know up front it's going to be tough. It's going to be one of the toughest jobs you've ever done. It's going to be one of the things that is going to be one of the biggest struggle probably you had in your life. But then you think about that one child who you've changed, and it's worth every bit of it. It's worth every milestone, every extra hour you put in, every lesson plan you've ever written. When a child comes up and says, "You've changed my life," it's worth every bit of it. I can tell you, I've had a few moments like that. So why do they leave, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. One of the reasons is some leave to raise children. That would be me. I left the teaching profession the 16th of January before Dana was born, on the 21st in 1994, and I did not return until Sarah went to the first grade, so I was home many years. I saw what students were like that didn't have parents home helping to raise them, so I didn't want my students to be a statistic. I'm not saying anything's wrong with parents who have to work, because that is more the norm than not. I was very blessed to get to stay home. My heart was home with the children. Another reason, some decide to return to school for an advanced degree. So they'll leave the teaching profession to try to advance themselves. So maybe when they come back, they can make more money, or perhaps teach at a different level, for instance, maybe a college level, whatever. A third reason, others decide to pursue another career that might be more satisfying or more pay. I would say, just from talking to my teacher friends, more pay out of the two, a more satisfying career, more pay by far is what teachers are looking for. You spend all that time in the classroom, outside the classroom, summers, days off, all those things that the public think we get on a regular basis that we are actually using as work time, and we realize, oh my gosh, we're not making anything. The last reason I wanted to point out from the book is others may be poor working conditions in schools, maybe a lack of administrative support. You'll feel like that sometimes. Maybe you've got a child in the class who starts coughing, and he realizes it's getting under your skin. And he's pushed your button, and he knows he has, so he continues to cough, and before you know it, he has the whole room coughing, and you're trying to quieten them all down. So you get frustrated. It's gone on all day, so you send him to the principal's office. He gets to the principal's office. She says, "Why are you in here?" And he says, "Well, I was coughing." And she said, "Well, did the teacher ask if you wanted to go get a drink of water?" And he's like, No, I've just had all this sinus stuff building up. I can't help that I'm coughing." And so the principal says, "Well, go get a drink of water and try to stop. Now, going back to your class." So when they walk in the door, you say, "So, what did the principal say?" "Oh, she just told me to get a drink of water and get back into class." You're infuriated. But we've got to keep in mind the principal's not in the class. They did know this kid's been coughing all day long and doing it on purpose because it's getting under your skin. So sometimes it is a lack of administrative support. Sometimes the principal will hang you out to dry with a parent. There's nothing any more frustrating than that. That's happened, I know. Also, it could be students' behavior problems. You've just had enough. You say, "They don't pay me enough to do this." So some teachers leave because they're not going to put up with other people's children who are out of control, and it's just not worth the hassle because, as you know, corporal punishment is still legal in the state of Tennessee, but principals and superintendents scallop on us doing it. So the means by which we can get students to behave is getting fewer and fewer, which is causing more frustration on our part. Also, some teachers look at it as a little chance for upper mobility. There's nowhere to go. You get your license to teach, and you teach. Yes, you can move within grades, but it's not like you're going to move up to be a vice president of the company or eventually the president or the purchasing agent. You are still a teacher, so the promotion tends to be sideways instead of advancing up. So some people get to where that's not very satisfying. I hope you're not going to be part of this statistic of the 20%. I hope you're dedicated and know upfront I've not kept anything from you. I don't try to sugarcoat and make you think things are going to be better than what they are. I like to think in this class you get the good, the bad, and the ugly. And if you've not heard all three of those yet, you will before the semester's up. Food for thought. What are you going to do? Text me. What are you going to do when you have a discouraging day? What would be your first thing to do after a discouraging day and you're thinking about leaving? What's the first thing that comes to mind that you would do? I'll be waiting.